rest of the lineup, not many surprises there, except for there were some surprises. Not many, but there were some. Alfredo Morales, I didn't see him being included in this lineup, or in the first 16, if you will, and that was kind of surprising. I was also kind of surprised by Joe Corona, actually, because we already have how many center midfielders? We talked about this before. Kyle Beckerman, Michael Bradley, Joe Corona, Maurice Adu, Danny Williams, Jose Torres, Jermaine Jones. All those guys that were named to the team are all midfielders. Seems insane.
To be frank, I don't see Corona being utilized as a center mid option. I see him more as being wing depth, and I believe I mean, I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, obviously, by the posters, but I thought he played more of the outside mid of almost like a 4-3-3 for his club, or something along those lines. But I know that he won't be utilized as a center mid anytime soon for the U.S. national team. As we pointed out, outside of Corona, we have 6 center mids in this lineup. And
a few
also, while we're talking about this, you had mentioned the first 16. I've got to ask, whose bright idea was it to post the list in 2
chunks?
Well, whose bright idea was it to have 2 different release dates as far as the camp is concerned?
Yeah.
We have 60 now, and now all we're doing is speculating who's going to be included. I think there's some obvious answers, but then again, we might be surprised.
Well, is this some way by Klinsmann to maybe poke at guys like Landon Donovan, who've been no-shows for so long, by saying, yeah, we didn't name you yet?
Well, I mean, he'd be the only one on that list to poke at.
Well, yeah, because
his play with LA has been rather mediocre as in the long run here.
Yeah,
but I guarantee he'll be called up regardless. He is a national team, starter in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he's got to be called up.
I just think that I don't know. I'm still torn on why we're separating this into 2 lists. If he needed to wait till this Sunday to name the full squad, why not just wait till this Sunday to name the full squad and be done with it?
Exactly. This is just ridiculous. And even that, you would know by now, if you're Jurgen Klinsmann, who the other guys are. So just throw them on the list. I mean, and like I said, this is a mind game. This is a mind screw. This is basically saying, here are the first 16 guys I really, really think have committed themselves to this team and are going to be on this team. The rest of it, I'm still kind of working that out.
Well, and you're missing some big names.
Yeah.
I mean, you're missing like Josie Altidore, a striker. We only have Clint Dempsey listed as the only striker on this squad so far. Obviously, that leaves a lot of space. I would imagine Josie would be listed because he's had a hell of a season with Aze.
Has to be on the team.
I mean, you got to imagine that Hercules Gomez would be included. But then again, I'm not certain that.
I'm not either.
I don't trust it until I see it listed.
Me neither. And yeah, again, what's the point?
Yeah, I've also heard rumors that Terrence Boyd is going to be included with this camp. So that means players like Kenny Cooper or Chris Wondolowski are going to be nixed off of the opportunity.
That's fine with me.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying that the people have been debating whether or not Wando or whether or not Cooper or so-and-so and so-and-so are going to be included in,
Yeah, he can't.
That Boyd is going to be brought in. So I doubt they're going to bring any more than 4 strikers in, and I pray that Hercules is going to be included, but who knows?
I hope so, and I think Dempsey, Landon, Josie, Boyd, those are your guys, right? That are going to be listed as maybe forwards, except for maybe Landon.
Forwards. Landon will probably be listed in the midfield.
Yeah, exactly. Shea, you would think would be added, but Kleshton's definitely going to get screwed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to matter how good of a season he had at Anderlecht. He's just doesn't fit into Klinsmann's vision.
Reason.
Well, I think for a lot of reasons. Listen. Where do you play him? I mean, we're stacked at center midfield.
I was to say, quite frankly, he'd fit in just as much as Jose Torres at this point. While Jose certainly has the ability to distribute well, I don't think he's really. I don't think it'd be a big difference if we swapped the 2 out, in my opinion, in the current lineup with the current players we have.
I don't know if it's something that happened in the past with Preki or whatever. I don't know why Kleshton's getting screwed, but he is right now. Yeah, that was a little hat tip to the past. Now, as far as the defenders go, they're only listing 4 now. Bocanegra, Castillo. Surprised to some that Castillo was called, and Cherundolo, that's not surprising. Morales. Now, the guys left out that Klinsman mentioned that you can pretty much guarantee you're going to be back in are Gooch.
Mm-hmm.
Because he talked about Gooch today. So why not just list him? Why not just list him and say he'll be there a week later? I just don't get that.
Maybe it's to create talking points. Really get the discussion going.
Get everybody all riled up.
Oh, God.
And Goodson's got to be in there, right?
He's got to be included. He's got to be the first go-to guy as far as depth is concerned for center back.
And then you still had other options. I mean, we talked about naming more MLS guys, maybe Cameron, but the only guys that I think are shoo-ins from MLS, right, are Shea, Landon Donovan, and then, of course, Ramondo, who we already talked about. He's already listed.
He's already included, yeah.
Yep. So,
which kind of surprises me because, technically speaking, he was injured for the Chicago Real Salt Lake game this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, apparently must not have been that big of an injury, but I figured that would have, maybe persuaded Klinsman to look at another option. Some people had mentioned Mara as an option.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing, though. You can list Ramondo and Beckerman from the MLS teams, but you can't list Landon yet? I think that's a poke in the eye there to Landon Donovan. I think that's a little little Three Stooges right to Landon Donovan's eyeballs, because I think basically that's a little message he's sending there. And I may be wrong, but
that's assuming you buy into the whole rift between Klinsman and Donovan.
I don't really buy into it, but I mean, why else do you leave Landon Donovan off this list when you can already name Beckerman and Ramondo, who's been injured? Why would you leave
anybody off the list? Why wouldn't you just name the full roster? We talked about this before.
That's a good point. It keeps bringing me back to the whole stupidity of this in the first place. If he already knows who the team is, just name them. Name them. Put them on the list. What? Maybe he's lazy and hasn't had time to call everybody. I don't know. This is the weirdest thing ever.
The problem for us is that we can't sit here and discuss the upcoming games because we don't know who all is included.
No, we really don't. I mean, it
very not very thoughtful towards the media here.
Well, I guess we're talking about it. We're just saying how stupid it is.
Well, we're going to have another show just because it's so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
like, it actually could be good for us, though.
It could be. You're right. All right. But, okay, defender options, Lehigh,
Yeah, obvious.
Yeah, Gooch, Goodson. And then the others, Cameron are kind of, these are the question marks. Whitbread, Ream, Cameron. Ream, Bolton just got, relegated. Whitbread and his team managed to stay up. Whitbread's had a fabulous season with Norwich when he's been healthy. If he's healthy, let's give him a shot. Otherwise, it's the midfield and the forwards that are really just a confusing mesh, and it really screams out loud that this is going to be a 4-5-1.
Well, if we bring in both Shea and Donovan, then you can pretty much guarantee that Johnson's going to be playing left back, which means one less defender called up from that list we just mentioned. So, and we already talked about the strikers. What 3 we obviously think is going to be included.
Right, but you're still going to start Josie up top with Clint right behind him, right? Two
of the top scoring U.S. players this season. How could you not?
You can't all of a sudden change that and do something. Yeah, and how many times has Klinsman talked about, Dempsey in that role? He loves Dempsey in that role. So that's got to be the setup.
Guaranteed. It's a question mark of what are going to be the remaining 4 midfielders and what 4 defenders we're going to have in that situation.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, before we close this sucker out, did you see that photo today of Landon Donovan at the ceremony at the White House?
I have not.
When the First Lady is up on the podium?
Nope.
Oh, my God. You're not going to believe it, but they took the photo, and Landon Donovan is seriously, he's staring right at her bastupums, her buns. It's very, it's a healthy stare. And I think, the rumors about Landon Donovan being a pervert, I don't want to take it there, but, if you see the photo, it's a classic. And Beckham even looks like he might be looking in that direction. But, it's a little subtle on his part. But Donovan's definitely staring at the derriere.
That's because Beckham has a wife to go answer to. Donovan does not.
Yeah, right. And Donovan hasn't been in Liverpool for some time since he left Everton, so he's probably jonesing at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got for right now. I guess we're going to have to come back, Brett, because we just don't know enough. And, this is just a tickler. It's a tease.
See you guys Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Klinsman, thanks for the kind of half-ass call-ups. And I guess when we get the whole list, we'll come back and say more. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, good night.